Soulja Boy, tell. Hey, I got this new dance for y'all called the Soulja Boy. You gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right. Soulja Boy,
First talked to Sarah like this time last year about doing the show here. I think it just came about because just me working on so many like products and stuff that she's had in the store, and you know, we have mutual friends, and so she just wrote me about maybe doing an exhibition here, and then just didn't really work out last year, and so I met her when she was in New York for Fashion Week this year, and so it just kind of came together. But yeah, it just came together kind of through all the other projects I worked on. So, I mean, I think for like people in the U.S. and for me, like it meant more as like kind of like a tastemaker more than like a store, you know, because we don't really shop. I mean, before even like the online portion was on, like there was no real relation to a shop for people who didn't travel here, so it was like a place that like exposed cool things. In a way, it's the same for me. I think like when people come to like designers, they're coming to them for like their point of view, rather, you know, if it's for a t-shirt or for like a website or, you know, corporate identity or whatever. It just kind of like, you have to determine as a designer how much like of your point of view is like appropriate in a way, you know, and how far you can push things. And you know, sometimes it's more fun to like have very little of your point of view and the project comes out amazing, and sometimes, you know, it's a lot of it. But I think for, you know, art stuff, a lot of the point of view comes across. This is all new, like all new work. So I mean, this show was like kind of short notice, so it was kind of hectic, but usually I'm really busy with design and like art, so I have to like kind of put off design stuff just to do art if like a show comes up. And so, you know, this one probably took like a couple months off and on, getting more hectic in the last month, you know. Well, I mean, I went to school for design, you know, so like I feel like I can actually do like serious design, you know, which happens sometimes more often than not, you know, getting caught up in like the graphics game. I mean, I like graphics and they're fun, but I don't want to just do graphics, you know, so I just started like making ideas and making things, you know, like making jewelry pieces or making the wall sculptures, and it all kind of, I just hope maybe in like 5 or 10 years, like it all comes together into like a body work, interesting body work, and I think that's more important than like trying to figure out as you go, because it's like kind of impossible, you know, as long as it's interesting projects. And I think in this world, like people mainly know me through my graphics just because like, you know, it's what people see like in this little like world. But yeah, like I hope to like do everything, you know, I don't know how to explain it. I don't think about it in that way. It's just like kind of, if an interesting project comes along, I want to do it, and then, you know, hopefully everything pans out and it leads to new things, you know. Like I did like a big sculpture piece for a show in October in Philly, and like that led to me doing them for Stussy, and so kind of like one thing leads to another, you know, always. And so we just hope that leads to like bigger. And for me, like I've kind of always been like interested in like weird like subcultures and like, I don't know, like that stuff interests me. And then just like I think like being a designer, like just looking at so many like visual things, like that stuff just gets stuck in my head, and then combining that with like weird things that happen in life, and you know, it's just, I think like a visual dialogue, you know, like between like kind of like a really graphic design aesthetic and like an art aesthetic, and just how all that comes together like in my life, like is what well, like when I was in high school, like I met Shepard when I was in high school. I was like 16, 17, and like I used to screen print for him and stuff, and I didn't really want to do design then. Like I just was like a high school kid just like hanging out. Like I drew a little bit, like, you know, I was interested in art, but I didn't really like want to be a designer before I met him. So he kind of like really like made me realize like that's what I wanted to do. You know, he kind of like made that like a possibility like as a profession or something to do. So, you know, I owe a lot to him as far as that. You know, it's like I probably wouldn't be doing this if like I never met Shepard. And then, you know, like Cause, I met him right when I moved to New York, and he was like a big inspiration, like visually, and just like, I don't know, just as someone like, I don't know, just the way he thinks about things is really interesting, and like makes an impression on like anyone, I think. But like just being able to be so close to him for a long time, like, you know, makes an impression on how I think about art and like how I go about like working and designing. I think, you know, just like the way to go about things, you know, I think it's really interesting. And just like visually and how he works, his techniques, you know, have all like rubbed off on me. And then when I was with Russ, well, the way I got with Russ was Kevin Lyons is one of my teachers at Pratt, and so like Kevin has been a big inspiration. You know, he's like a great designer. Yeah, so working with them was like how I first met, like how I really got integrated into like the street art, or like that whole t-shirt game. I met Aaron, you know, meeting all those people in like Russ's office was like kind of like that jumping off point. So I want to hire him if I find him. No, because everyone always asks, like people always ask, like, oh, I need someone to like work for. Like companies are always asking everybody, like trying to find someone to work for them. It's like I don't even know people. Like I'm sure there's good people, but like I think everyone has like their own t-shirt brand now, so no one wants to like work for anyone either. And like. But most of those brands aren't good either, so it's like... Well, I always felt like... I mean, I think, like, there was, like, that first generation, like, Beautiful Losers generation, is like, Shepherd Cause, then, like Kevin, even those guys, and it's like... I feel like I'm the generation behind them, you know, because I didn't really grow up, you know, like, they're, like, that generation older, so, like, I kind of feel like I'm that one generation back, you know, like, Aaron, kind of, everyone, you know, a little younger, you know, and so... Yeah, younger generation, I mean, it's hard, like, kids, I think maybe, like, because so many brands popped up really quick, like, maybe, like, especially, like, 2 years ago, maybe things got diluted a little bit, and some of those brands are going away now because it's not all, like, it's not worth it to start a small brand, it's like, you know, not everything it's cracked up to be, and so people kind of went away, maybe people that could have been, like, grown slowly into, like, really like talented people maybe got burnt out early. I don't know. Maybe it's an answer, but I'm sure there's like rad young kids out there. Always great. Nick Face, he's young.
Yeah, Nick Face is
He's like 22, so it's like
the new generation.
New generation.
What is your favorite word?
Yes.
What is your least favorite word?
Maybe.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Books.
What turns you off?
Not working.
What sound or noise do you love?
I don't know. No sound. Quiet. You never get quiet in New York, so it's like walking home in the middle of the night when it's quiet is like
It's good.
weird. Yeah, it's good.
And what sounds do you hate?
Vacuum cleaner. Hate it.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What profession other than your own you would like to enter?
Maybe chef.
Food, you love to cook.
Not really, but maybe I'd like it if I didn't have to do it.
What profession you would not like?
Like anything manual labor. No, like hard work.
If heaven exists, what would you like to God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I like your show.
Yeah.